everybody, what's going on? It's your boy King Queso, aka Sigmatic. It's been a long time. Once again, man, we gotta stop doing these videos. But I have an excuse. Well, no, I got a reason. It's not really an excuse. I don't like excuses. The reason why it's been so long. So, if you haven't realized, or people, you haven't been to my stream, and I haven't done that in a while, I moved. I had an opportunity to make an adjustment where I was currently living. If y'all follow me on my streams, it was kind of cool. It was all right, but the opportunity came where you can kill two birds with one stone, and we were able to move back to my hometown, which I think is a better living situation. It ended up making my wife happy, my sons happy. They got their own rooms finally. And it's making my mom happy. So this is what we're doing now. I got finally settling. It's been about 2 months, and I was watching videos. If you haven't know, I watch podcasts. I'm always trying to learn something. I'm always trying to be educational, do something different with my day. And I came across this subject matter, and then it resonated with me so much. And like I told you before, if you watch the beginning of my videos, I make videos so that I can leave some logs for my sons in the event that I'm no longer here on this earth. They'll still be able to hear my voice. They'll still be able to hear my wisdom. And I don't know, I always wish my dad would have did it for me. So it's one of my things that I want to do. But this also coincides with what I want to talk about. And everybody knows what I'm about to talk about. Everybody can relate. And it's about rejection. All right. We all face it. We all, or we don't, depending on what type of person you are. But we all have to deal with it. We all have to go through it. It's part of life. It's how we become successful. But I was watching this podcast, and I was watching this channel. Shout out to the DOAC. And it was talking about how rejection in some form of way only comes second to the feelings or the pain of death. So just think about it. Some people haven't even, well, most people alive, I guess, have never experienced death, but experienced death. Whoa, pause. But if they've calculated that the pain and the emotions and the stuff that you go through, rejection is so close to death, I can see why a lot of people run away from it. And I can see why, because of rejection, people tend to be, I want to say, something that they're not, or they try to accentuate something, because the opposite of rejection is acceptance. So I don't know if we're talking about you. I don't know if I'm talking about somebody that you know, but everybody can relate. Out of fear of rejection, we tend to always try to be accepting. We don't tend to stick out. We don't tend to be the one oddball, the sore thumb, or anything like that, because in that type of experience where we become, or we stand out, or we put ourselves in a place of rejection or individuality, we could be judged. We live in a society with social media where, man, you do something wrong, and if you do it online or somebody has the ability to record it, it could be forever in somebody's memory or somebody's phone or saved somewhere, and it could be brought up 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, even 100 years in the future, down the road, even after you're gone. So I can see how whatever rejection was back then, rejection now is probably at an all-time high, to where everybody's trying to run away from it. When you think about it, the person I was speaking to, I can't remember the name, but conformity, DNA, it's all about survival, right? So if you go back, we do a little history lesson, you find out that most people believed that anytime there was a change or anything that something new was about to happen, it usually was associated with death or something bad happening. So if you had a schedule, if you had a way things were going, you didn't really want to alter that. And that's how most people are. That's how the average person is. I get up, I go to work, I'm on the road, I clock in, go to lunch, I clock out, I come home. Nothing different happened, so that means I'm safe. In terms of survival, everything is great. Let's say an accident happens, any types of change. It's always like, well, what does this mean? Or how does that alter my schedule? Like, as humans, as average human beings, like schedule and everything lining up the way that we thought it was going to go is just linked to our survival, is linked to our ancestors, our DNA. It's what we like to cling on to, because anytime we have to change something, it usually means that we have to be uncomfortable. I don't know how many people like being uncomfortable for long periods of time, but it usually shifts stuff. And it puts us in a place where we could be rejected. Now, what does reject mean? To refuse, to have, take, recognize. To refuse to grant, it's different types of definitions, but y'all get the gist of everything. To refuse to be accepted. To discard as useless or unsatisfactory. To cast out or off. We are living in a generation where everybody's trying to do something to be accepted. But we're also living in a generation where everybody wants to be successful. So it's kind of crazy that the road to success involves failing. It involves being rejected. It involves some form of uncomfortability. Everything that our ancestors have taught us that is associated with surviving is the opposite of what today's generation needs in order to be successful. Got to put yourself in harm's way. You hear about those millionaires. You hear about those people that made millions and billions. There were times where they were living out their car. There were times where they didn't have enough to eat. They didn't know what tomorrow hold. You hear the Steve Harveys. You hear the Cat Williams. You hear the Kevin Harts. You hear the people that have success stories where it's like, oh man, I would love to be that person. But when you hear their actual story, not too many people would actually go through their life in order to get the things that they had, unless they knew for certain they knew what was on the other end. But that's not how life works. So it is kind of crazy. So for my rejection, right? If I wanted to talk about my rejection was, y'all see the gray hairs on my face. I'm 42 years old. I'm going to be 43 next month. The feeling of not knowing whether or not, am I starting too late? People that know me, my name's King Queso, but I go by Sigmatic when I talk about relationship issues and stuff like that. You feel as though because you're old, you're the old guy, you're Unc, you're OG, that who wants to see me? But when I was watching this channel and I wanted to pass this on to anybody who wants to listen, and to my kids as a log for they can go back to this, there's nobody else that can be you and do you the way that you do it. So you always have something to offer to society, because even if you do the same thing that the person next to you did, they're never going to be able to do it exactly like the way that you did. So if I want to be successful, right, I'm going back to college. That was also in my videos. I'm 42 years old. I've averaged it out with the part-time schedule that I have to take. It's going to take me another 2.5, maybe 3 years to get my electrical engineering degree. The rejection kind of starts and the imagination starts rolling, and you start telling yourself like, oh man, who wants to get their degree when they're 45? Or with streaming, who wants to be the 42-year-old, 43-year-old guy playing 2K because 2K is one of my pastimes and I'm quite good at it? Who wants to be the 42-year-old having a relationship channel with only 100-something subscribers? But rejection, feeling like you're being cast out, feeling like you're not being accepted, it's all part of success. You have to be able to push through that barrier in order to reach your true potential. Like, you're never gonna know what you can and can't do until you fail. Anybody that's a gym head, anybody that's ever exercised, when you first start out, they find your max weight. And by finding your max weight, they have to see how much you can lift until your body gives out, until your body rejects the weight that, or the amount of stuff that you're putting on it, so that they then can start a schedule to get you at a place to improve your ability, so that the next time you try to max out, your state of rejection is higher, or your ability to reject whatever level that was. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was bench pressing, and now I'm a little guy, all right? I was 5 foot. I probably was 5 foot. I'm 5'7" now, so just imagine me in middle school. I started out at 135. I wanted to play football. Then after 135, I think I went to 155 to 175, and then finally being able to bench press 200. But I stopped because my height stopped, and the guys I was going against, I felt like they were gonna knock my block off. But in order to be successful, in order to get to the next level, I had to go through states of rejection. Relationships. You have to be able to say no. You have to be able to say what you will and won't do. You have to be willing to ask somebody out on a date. You have to be willing to ask for that raise at the job. You have to be willing to put yourself in a state of rejection so that you can understand. So first, you'll be able to withstand the feeling that comes with the possibility of rejection. That's one thing. And then after that, you'll have to be able to, not have to be able to, but you'll be able to either fail and then come back, reassess how you're going to come back and do it next time, or you put yourself out there in a state of rejection and then you succeed. Some people know my story, but when I first met my wife, I saw my wife walking in Walmart for 2 weeks, but she was so beautiful, still beautiful to this day. And I don't know if she would be interested in somebody like me. It is so easy for us to talk ourselves out of doing something that could be life-changing, that really could change our lives for the rest of our lives. Like, my wife changed my life for the better. But if I would have sat in that state of rejection, if I would have sat in that state where I felt like she wouldn't accept me, that she would spew me out, reject me like vomit. Can you imagine? If I sat there and I never said anything to her, who knows where I would be at today? Who knows where I would have ended up? If I would have ended up with somebody that I could trust and love the way that I love my wife. Rejection is necessary in order to be successful. That feeling, even if you never have gotten rejected, you still have to put yourself in spaces where you possibly could get rejected or you might not be accepted. Now, my passion, right? I love talking about relationships. There is an avenue that I'm going to go down, and the only way I'm going to know whether I'm going to succeed at it or not is if I try. I don't know anybody. Let me know in the comments if you like Married at First Sight, if you like Love is Blind, if you like all of those relationship shows. My channel is going to veer off, and through these relationship topics, do reviews and recaps of those. I love those shows. I sit sometimes and talk to myself for 30 minutes to an hour about the shows, and I recap in my mind what type of relationships these people are in, what they might be suffering from, what they could do to be better and stuff like that. And I feel like it would be beneficial. First of all, it's beneficial for me to get it out, because I really need to get it out, because I have so much to say about some of these shows, good and bad. But it's also something that it's a real passion of mine. But the rejection that like I told you, the rejection that I might have put myself, or the imagination that I might put myself through, oh, I'm too old for this when it comes to streaming, or getting my degree at 45. Oh, who's gonna want a 45-year-old person? I'm never gonna know until I try. With this avenue that I'm about to go down, I was looking at, and don't judge me, but I was looking at the field of people who do this, because I was like, oh man, I could do that. Most of them are women, and most of them who are men tend to be on the side that they just don't sound like me. I'll put it like that. All right, they just don't sound like me. But I can sit there and give up all these reasons why I shouldn't do something, or I could venture off, put myself into a state of rejection, and maybe it'll work and maybe it won't. But I won't be able to ever look back on life and say that I didn't try that thing, I didn't put my best foot forward, or I didn't miss out on an opportunity. Now, other part of the video, because I'm almost done. So, rejection, being cast out, not being accepted. There are two forms or two words that actually are very close to each other, but what the world has done is move them so far apart. And these words, it's being terminated or terminating something, and quitting something. Now, most people hear the word quit and they're like, oh no, I'll never quit anything. I'm not a quitter. Quitting is for losers. Some people say spitters are quitters. I'm sorry, I tried to throw a little comedy and everything. But quitting is actually very positive. If you know when to do it, if you're paying attention, if you use it correctly. Quitting is just stopping, ceasing, or discontinuing. Quitting means to depart from, to leave, to give up, to resign, to let go, to release one's hold of something, to acquit or conduct oneself, to free or rid, to quit oneself of doubts, to clear a debt. I think whoever's watching this videos, if you're holding on to something because you're scared of what's going to happen if you don't hold on to it, or if you don't keep it, a lot of things in our life we need to quit. Because when you examine what you're leaving or what you're choosing to make yourself to feel uncomfortable, if you look on the other side and just for a minute, because your mind is in your mind, your DNA is always stuck on survival. You're always stuck on trying to make sure to preserve yourself. The things that make you successful, the things that make you the millionaire, the companies that you start, even these YouTube videos that I'm making, you put yourself out there to be rejected. You put yourself out to get no views. You put yourself out there to look like a loser. You put yourself out there to possibly get picked on. But you also put yourself out there for the possibility of success. You put yourself out there to be able to say that I'm doing something that I'm passionate, I love. You put yourself out there to maybe one day leave the job that you have to pursue the career. You put yourself out there to lose out on having to rummage around in this day and age in the dating scene and be married for 16 years. And knowing who you're going to come home to, who you're going to lay your head down to, and having somebody that you could be vulnerable with and trust with all of your fears, pains, concerns, and all that, like I have currently. But quitting, I think we need to reassess as a people. There are some things that it's okay to quit. Because if you don't quit, right, we are more cool with being fired for something because we leave the unction, we leave the action on the purpose of somebody else, or we leave ourselves in a place where we get terminated. Now, terminate is to bring to an end, to put to an end, to occur at or form the conclusion of, to bound or limit spatially, form it to be situated at the extremity of, to dismiss from a job, or to fire. Quitting a job and being terminated from a job, which one sounds better? For my life, I've always said, oh, nobody's ever terminated me. If in all situations, I've quit my job and I went to another thing. When you stay too long in a certain place, or say you stay too long with a certain person, you stay too long in a certain circumstance. If it's conformity, if it makes you feel good, if you talk yourself out of venturing into something that, let's say, you're passionate about or that you see success in, but then it requires some belief, some hope in something, you would rather want to quit it before you get terminated. Now, I'm not saying this because a Surgeon General warning, this isn't every time something gets hard, you quit. Because in my other videos, I teach resilience. I think that's one of the most positive qualities. But sometimes your resilience could be just because you're scared of rejection. Because if you actually venture off and take that step of faith out there into the unknown, because of the thought that, oh, what if I don't make it, or what if it doesn't succeed? No. So you never know unless you try. You hear all those cliches. You never know unless you try. You miss all the shots that you don't take. It all boils down to rejection. because of that pain that's associated with not being accepted, not being a part of a crew, or being called the corny guy, or being called the flaky guy, or not being called the person who's the ugly person in the group, the one that stands out. If you look at, we all associate such negativity with that, but if we look at all of the positive success stories and the things that we wanted to be, if you research or talk to anybody who you admire, they all have put themselves in a situation where they were going to be rejected. They've all either had to quit something, or in some instances, they've realized that they waited too long and were terminated from something, which made them have to. Now, there's two different types of stories. It's whatever story you want to tell it, but sometimes we get terminated from something because we were already have gotten the unction to quit something and to start something new. But it's just that need to be accepted. That's my time. So putting it out there. Hey, anybody that's been following me, I said I was going to do a journey of school. I'm still in school. I'm actually doing good. I got a 3.9 GPA, but I'm going to keep doing these videos. I have a notes full in my phone of every time my topic came, saying, oh yeah, when I get a chance, I'm going to talk about this video. I'm going to talk about this video. I'm going to talk about this video. But just know, like, some of my videos are also personal memoirs for myself. Hey man, whoever you are, believe in yourself. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, don't say King Queso told me I need to leave this job or leave this situation, but assess where you are. If you've wanted to do something, if you wanted to venture out, if you wanted to, put your toe in the cold water to see what's out there, you thought about it long and hard, you're not gonna know all the variables. Take a step out there, like most success stories. I'm taking a step out here with these videos. I'm taking a step out here with going back to college. I'm taking a step out here with doing reviews, my future reviews on Married at First Sight and just relationship topics that tend to go viral in social media. Because I have opinions on all of those. And whether somebody listens or not, it's cool, because at the end of the day, it's not whether or not I get accepted or I not get accepted. But if I stay true to myself and I keep doing things that I believe is right and draw a line in the sand, nobody can ever cross me the wrong way, and nobody can ever tell me that I'm doing something that's out of body or that doesn't seem to be like me. I'll never have to conform to anything or anyone, because I've already stood and molded who I was through my actions. That's all I got for you for today. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Hey, if you like what I'm doing, and if you want to continue with me on this journey, feel free to subscribe, like, reshare. This is your boy King Queso Sigmatic. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.